She stood at the corner of the hospital hallway, her clothes torn and her hands trembling, clutching a small paper bag with half a sandwich inside. The CEO of one of the city's biggest corporations, known for his ruthlessness and icy demeanor, sat beside his father's hospital bed, broken and alone for the first time in years. When their eyes met, he didn't know why he said it. "Here's $1,000, he whispered, holding out a trembling hand. "Just hold my hand. Please." He thought it would be a meaningless transaction. He didn't know that moment would rewrite both their lives forever. Rain poured like grief from the heavens, soaking the cracked pavements of downtown. Maya ran through the empty streets, her worn sneakers splashing through puddles as she clutched her small paper bag of leftover sandwiches from the diner she worked at. Her shift had ended hours ago, but she stayed behind cleaning tables for tips that never came. Life hadn't been kind to her, not since her mother died, leaving behind a debt that seemed to grow larger every month. Maya was only 22, yet her eyes carried the weight of someone who had seen too much, too soon. She rented a small room above a laundromat, worked 2 jobs, and spent nights stitching clothes for neighbors to earn a few extra dollars. Every dream she once had, of studying, of painting, of living without fear, had been replaced by survival. That night, as thunder roared, she noticed the faint glow of the hospital sign at the end of the street. She wasn't supposed to go in there. But something about hospitals always drew her, the quiet hum of machines, the smell of antiseptic, the reminder that even the strongest fall. Inside, in one of the private wings, Ethan Cole sat by his father's bed, motionless. He was 33, a self-made CEO of Cole Dynamics, known for his cold precision and brilliance. The world envied his success, the private jets, luxury offices, million-dollar suits, but no one knew the emptiness behind his calm face. His father had been his last family, the men who taught him everything about resilience, about not showing weakness. And now, that same man lay unconscious, frail, and pale. For 2 days, Ethan hadn't eaten or slept. His assistants brought food, he ignored it. His board called, he silenced them. His world, built on control and logic, was crumbling, and he didn't know how to feel. That's when Maya appeared, standing quietly by the vending machine outside his father's room. She had come hoping to deliver a food order for a nurse, but the nurse had gone home early. She didn't even have the cab fare back. Seeing her drenched and shivering, Ethan's assistant frowned and tried to shoo her away. But before she could leave, Ethan came out of the room, his tie loosened, eyes red and hollow. "Wait," he said softly. Maya froze. "Me?" "Yes, you." He stepped closer, his voice low and trembling. "Do you believe people can sense warmth through touch?" She blinked, unsure how to respond. I don't know, sir." He hesitated. His hand shook slightly as he pulled a wad of bills from his wallet. "Here's $1,000, he said, his tone breaking. "Just hold my hand. Please. Just, don't say anything." It was absurd. She almost thought he was mocking her. But then she saw his eyes, lonely, terrified, human. Slowly, without understanding why, she sat down beside him and held his hand. Minutes passed. The rain outside softened into silence. He didn't speak, but his grip tightened slightly, as if holding her hand grounded him to life. For Maya, that moment was strange, intimate, yet comforting. No words were needed. When the nurse came back, she found Ethan asleep for the first time in days, his hand still in Maya's. The next morning, he woke to an empty chair. Only the faint smell of jasmine, her cheap soap, lingered in the air. On the side table lay the $1,000 untouched, along with a small note written in neat handwriting. "Sometimes, you don't need to pay for comfort. You just need to feel seen." That note haunted him for days. A week later, Ethan's father passed away peacefully. The funeral was private, just Ethan and a few executives. He looked composed, his signature steel expression back in place, but inside, something had shifted. He found himself thinking about that night, about the girl with soft hands and kind eyes who asked for nothing but gave him something priceless, peace. He tried to focus on work again, but his company board noticed the difference. He started rejecting harsh layoffs, increasing worker benefits, and spending more time walking through the factory floors. For the first time, he asked about the people behind the machines. Yet one question lingered: who was she? Days turned into weeks. Ethan asked around quietly, even had his assistant check hospital delivery logs. Eventually, he found a name, Maya Lewis, working double shifts at Danny's Diner, near 5th Street. When he entered the diner one evening, no one recognized him. He wore a simple jacket, no tie, no chauffeur. Maya was wiping tables, exhausted but humming softly to herself. When she saw him, her eyes widened in shock. He said softly, "You once gave me peace when I thought I had everything but had nothing. Now I just want to make sure the world knows what kindness can do." Maya's eyes welled up. "And I just wanted you to know, you never needed to pay for love. You only needed to feel it. Sometimes the smallest gesture, a touch, a word, a moment of compassion, can reach deeper than money ever could. We never know when our kindness might save someone's soul. So if you ever have the chance to hold someone's hand in their darkness, don't let go." Like, share, and subscribe to Story Sphere for more heart-touching stories that remind us how powerful kindness can be.